camera is rolling. So, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
We had a break yesterday. We said it's going to take just a short while, but it ended up being 1 day. It's like we had to sleep over it to make this next step. Technology sometimes has its own rhythm. So I would like for us to take it where we left it yesterday. And I think the last part was just that transition in Steffenshof. I have to, yes, I nail it. The transition to Steffenshof and how Guruji was showing signs of transitioning also the relationship from this close divine friend, slowly showing the Guru inside, no? So how was that? Because the last discussion was about the Guru mantra. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the last thing that we touched upon. Mm-hmm. So maybe we catch up from there and then we move forward. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you share again a little bit how was that process with the Guru mantra? And then we take it from there.
Yeah, so after receiving the Guru mantra, for me it was clear. Now this is a clear decision. So it was clear, Guruji is my Guru. And I wrote a goodbye and thank you letter to my previous Guru.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
because for me this was very important. I was loyal. It was, it's like when you have a relationship or a friendship. I mean, otherwise you have it. You don't have it. Yeah. So for me, this part was very important to say thank you, because I felt this guidance and I felt like now it's time for the next level, for the next step. Yeah, and so this was this time of transition. Then it was also a time we saw Guruji a few times somewhere. Yeah, we met somewhere like in Switzerland. Like we did a small pilgrimage together, or he invited us somewhere, or we were together in the house of Swamini Vishwadakshini, because this was at that time then the base, because this was the time we met. And this was also the place from where we organized the new place, Ashram, Steffenshof. Steffenshof is actually the name of this tiny, it's not even a village. There are 5 houses there, or 6 houses.
So I haven't been there.
Yeah.
I think it would be nice to visit
yes,
that place.
It's really nice. I mean, I went a few times with a...
It's not far away from here, I heard, no?
No, it's a bit more than 1 hour. It's over the Rhine. So you go with a ferry. It's very scenic. It's like a very nice Sunday afternoon trip or a whole day trip. And as I said, I did it a few times, like ask some Matajis to come, so those who have never been there, and it was always very pleasant. And there are also devotees living there.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I did also 2 times yagna there, and...
the property still belongs to devotees, or can be visited, or it was sold to someone else?
Yes, it's sold. It's not private. It's private now.
It's private, okay.
It's private. I mean, it's open. There's not a gate, So you can see like the house, and then a house where Guruji lived, and the temple where the temple is. So see everything, and it looks very similar. It's like not much has changed, at least from the view from the street. So but it's private, and of course, if you would like to have a haircut, you could go there, because there is a hairdresser. And actually, Guruji used to have an interview room there. Well, we called it
in where the hairdresser. Wow, so nice.
And I mean, imagine in this room the golden lingam was. He gave birth to the golden lingam.
The Hiranyagarbha?
The Hiranyagarbha.
The first Hiranyagarbha?
Not the first one, let's say in Europe or in Germany.
We should explain what that is,
Yeah.
Hiranyagarbha. What is the Hiranyagarbha lingam?
So the Hiranyagarbha lingam, Hiranya, it means like heart, and Garbha is like the womb. Yeah. So it's a golden egg. Yeah. It's translated as the golden egg, and all the cosmos is inside of this golden egg. So it's like the whole universe, the whole cosmos is inside.
The essence of
the essence of it. I mean, you cannot.
The cosmic egg, you might say.
Yeah,
no?
Cosmic egg is another. This is like a term which is used in other contexts. Yeah, but it's in a way a cosmic egg, and so Guruji explained to us at that time that whenever this golden lingam is on earth, it has a purpose. There's a meaning why it comes, like a balancing. There's a balancing effect happening. Yeah? And this is very subtle. We don't know. We don't see it. But this is the way he explained it. Actually, when it came for the second time, this was in Shree Peetha Nilaya. This is when he explained there's a debalance from the elements and on Earth, or maybe even in the cosmos, and this helps. Yeah, and this is this. I mean, we cannot describe this golden lingam, but he said, we were not allowed to touch it. Nobody was allowed to touch it. He said, if you touch it, we would be burned. We would be burned to ash. It's so strong. The energy. So it was only him who held it. Yeah. So he held it, or when he moved it, and so this happened in let's say after 1 year after we moved into Steffenshof. This lingam came, and it was in this room. Yeah? So now to go back to the circle.
People are going there and cut their.
They have no idea.
Have no idea.
They have no idea.
There was a cosmic event in that room. Actually,
for me, for quite a long time, this was difficult to accept. That this property owns now people like normal people who have nothing to do with Guruji, who cannot even see his greatness. They cannot even honor the place accordingly. For me, this was difficult. Because I mean, only those who have really been there, they know what kind of history point it is.
Because you were from the beginning.
I was there
since the property was bought.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there from the beginning. Actually, I was the first person moving there with my furnitures, because Guruji asked me to come, and then I said yes, and then I said let's go for it. What should I wait for?
Amazing.
So I quit everything in my old town, and I got ready, and I came with one big lorry with my furniture, and this is a very, very sweet moment. So on that day, it was a Sunday, we arrived, or a Saturday, or weekend for sure. We arrived in Steffenshof, and it was just getting dark. And of course, you're a bit tired, from packing and driving and this. And then I thought, now we have to unpack this lorry, yeah? And so we stopped the lorry, and suddenly all the people were around us, because Guruji came. He saw us coming. He was standing on the window waving, like welcoming. Then he came down, and everybody else also came. And I tell you, in half an hour, less than half an hour, this car was empty and everything. I could not say so quickly where everything goes. And for me, this was a wonderful experience. I felt very welcomed. And, you always like, how will it be? And, this is always in the background, yeah. And also, I was doing many things on my own. I was so used to pack my stuff my alone, to do or get organized on my own, and then suddenly you have like this
army of people who help you.
Exactly, many arms. Yeah, and so this go there and there, because I nearly brought all my furniture. Yeah, you never know if it can be in good use. Yeah, and then this was the first experience. Then we had dinner. So it was, of course, always exciting to be with Guruji and eat. And then he went through the house, and then he showed. Actually, he showed me through the house, and he showed me the room I will move in.
Yeah.
And then, so he came in, and then he said, "And this will be your room." And this was already amazing. I mean, like, you know, he provided me like with a room, but the room was the children room, and it was pink. And I just don't like pink. I'm sorry. I'm not a pinky person.
Yeah, my daughter loves pink, but
Yes.
she's like 2.5 years old.
Yes. Maybe I liked it when I was 2.5, but as far as I can remember backwards, I was never really a pinky person.
And he chose that particular color for you.
Yeah, like everybody had the room, and then this one. And and then he said, "Oh, let's paint it." Yeah, because of course he knew, let's paint it. And I said, "Yeah, we can do this." "No, now." You cannot imagine. He already before he was wearing he had a paint suit, you know, this paint suit you can buy.
Yeah.
So they already did something. I don't know what they were painting that day, but then he was wearing again his painting suit, and together we were decorating, we were painting this room.
Wow.
And for me it was just poor bliss. I could not imagine that he will give so much a hand. He was reaching both hands. "Look, you're welcome. This is your place." Was his way to show me, "I want you to be here." This helped me a lot, a lot. Yeah, he knows when to do what for longer, for the longer process. Yeah, when we go through our rough times, then clearly he wants me to be here. Clearly, he showed it to me. He said it to me. You just go through your things.
Wow, so beautiful.
Yeah, and then I also like little details. Yeah, I knew, of course, we did things already before, and I know, a Mauritian style is different to a German style. Yeah? Even I would not say I'm typically German. Like, I like details, but I'm not like crazy about this. But I like to do things nice. Let's say. Normally, I would paint, decorate a wall quite nicely. Especially, it's a room I live there for a longer time. But he was like doing like this and this and then this and this.
I just need to change the color effectively.
And this and then we're singing and so on. And then there were like, some blocks where you some technical things.
The sockets.
The sockets. Yeah, the block is the other part. Yeah, so there were some sockets and I wanted to
cover them to make it nice.
Exactly, like what you normally do. And then, no, just paint over it.
Amazing.
And
really nice.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, you do the things quickly. Was the one letter? quickly. You don't waste time. You get the things together, and don't waste time in too much details. So this was for me the lesson in that way. Even as I said, I was used already to do things with him, but it was a lesson. Be quick, efficient. And whenever I was in my room and I saw these places, because I knew exactly which corner it was, it reminded me
of him.
And don't waste time, quick, it's done, and then we move on.
Yeah, he has his way of putting his print.
And it was meant only for, let's say, 4 years. He knew at that time it's only for some time. I thought it will be for longer. Yeah?
This is our place from now on.
Yeah. Because, of course, he wants also things to be nice and under long last. You know, if something is for longer, or but he teaches in these details. And when you do things with him, or when you serve him, you get to know about this. Yeah? You think it's like the way he wants it, but actually it's not like this. It's like he always wants you to teach you something.
That's where you need to do your homework.
Yeah.
And pay attention to all, because it has, everything he does is nothing is random.
Yeah.
And you start to learn this with people. There are some people who have only one interaction in a year, for example. And that interaction has tremendous significance in showing that person the direction. Before moving here, we had like 2 or 3 times a year interaction with him. And it was always, it would change half of the year. I could meditate on that interaction half of a year, and I said, oh, this meant this. And it would bridge over in time, and I was like, now it makes sense why he did that there. Really beautiful way of teaching.
And in this way, even, let's say, less interactions can be very valuable, because when you have many, you're also confused.
Yeah. And he plays also with that.
You know, also with this, because then so I would say sometimes like clear interactions once in a while gives you a
direction for a longer time.
Yeah. Especially if you put them into practice, and then it's moving on, and then he can go on also with the next level. Yeah? Because sometimes it was like this. We had so many interactions with him. I mean, we were with him day and night.
Casual,
Casually, but he was also always the guru. It was both. Let's say I need to speak for myself, because I had the guru. I had this respect. I knew what the guru is. So for me, there was always a very respectful side. I just couldn't do it differently. For me, this was just normal. But because we could talk, this was amazing for me, that you just can talk like we sit here. We were sitting in the train together or in the car together. Just 2 of us. And this is a very unusual situation. Even now, when I think backwards, I still have these moments. I still have hours where I'm alone with him, but I don't talk with him. You do something with him, something practical. But because there was this, let's say, normal situations what we have between humans, but then at the other side, something is different. So speaking about myself, I was always very cautious, more cautious, more careful. And I would say I called him a divine friend. I felt him like a divine friend, but I felt him also as a master from the beginning. So this master-disciple relationship I had, I think, from the beginning. And this helped me later, because for me it was not so difficult.
When the transition happened, for many people I think it was hard. I mean, actually, we were friends, we were like,
I know, but for me it was even a relief. This is actually, I never really mentioned it like this, but for me it helped me. It was for me easier. Let's say, because it was clear, this is this and this. And even I could have a casual talk with him, or he was teasing, he was tickling us. It's like, we made we throw the pillows on each other, and he was tickling us. I mean, it's you cannot be...
Inconceivable now.
Yes.
That playfulness. And
yeah,
that
this
casualness.
playfulness. Yeah. So always, where's the border? You know, it's like
where you cross the line.
Yeah, where do you cross the line? And but on the other hand, he was playing with us, and he wanted us also that we play with him. Yeah, so it was always both, and so there was maybe a kind of, I cannot tell you. I mean, I was enjoying the moment, of course, but always cautious at the same time. Yeah? And when he became more strict, actually, it helped me. I was even longing for it. Yeah, because I really wanted a clear guidance. You know, this was really, what can I say? I didn't want to have only a playful relationship. I didn't want to have only like fun.
It brings clarity somehow,
yes,
no?
Yes.
And it brings a little bit of discipline.
Exactly.
And I understand why this could be important for that relationship.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the discipline. But there was no discipline.
I can imagine.
I mean,
and Europeans have a different way of interacting with each other when they share a space.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I was already in India. I lived in an ashram. I got up at 4:30 already. I had my sadhana. I had the mantra. I had a sadhana. I was doing the 1,000 names of Lalita Tripura Sundari, you know, the 1,000 names of Divine Mother. This was my personal sadhana, which I gave for myself. So I had already something here, and then everything was upside down. And
with these hippies in that house in Germany. How many people were there? I mean, a handful of people, no?
We were actually 5 plus 1. Guruji.
At the beginning, the core.
At the beginning, yeah. So it was Guruji, then it was Pata, then it was Swami Kuru, then it was Swamini Drishti, then it was Sumitra and myself. So we lived in the house. And in the beginning, we all lived in the same house. It was like we had several rooms, and Guruji there was a bigger room on the top floor, well, like under the roof, and he shared the room. And this room was above my room. So it was really like whenever he got up, when he was in the room, when he was walking through the room, it was like bang, 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 bang.
You heard him,
I heard him on top of my head. And
where it's supposed to be.
Where it's supposed to be. And this was for half an hour. For half a year it was like this. That he lived with us. It was a time he was quite often there. Yeah? It was, so we moved in, it was end of November 2004. And then I think for his birthday, 2005, he already lived in the building next door, where he had a small flat. It was also not big. Yeah, but before he was living in the same house, and it was like the staircase was next to my room, so whenever he went up or down, you know, he passed by. So sometimes he just came in the room. Yeah. And of course he was also knocking on the room, but he was Guruji's Guruji, you know, he plays with everything. So it was getting normal. It was getting normal that he calls you, that he comes in your room, that he does something, that he gives things to take care. For example, he got, this was later, was a little bit the end of the time of Steffenshof, but when he came back after meeting Mavada Babaji, and also the initiation and in the Vaishnava tradition, he got from Mavada Babaji, No, actually, this stone he got earlier. Now I'm mixing up a little bit. Yeah, sometimes so many things happen. But anyway, after he gave the Kriya to us,
that was in that period.
This was in this period. It was 2007, and so he gave us the Kriya. This was a period of 2 weeks, and Guruji lived already next door, so it was in this building next to it, and he always communicated with Mavada Babaji in his room, and nobody was allowed to come in the room when he was talking or like communicating with Mavada Babaji. So Guruji, what he did, he made a drawing of like a fierce, something fierce. Maybe it was a kind of Narasimha. At that time, it was just a fierce face. And so he put this on his door, like with danger.
Yeah, don't enter.
Don't enter.
Very good.
Yeah, then we knew whenever was this this drawing.
The guardian.
The guardian. When this was on his door, don't enter. Don't even come close to that door, because there was the office just next to it, or like there was the kitchen and a bathroom and so on. So the living room or the kind of office at that time was in the same flat, you know, a small flat, but everything was together. Yeah, so this was a period of 2 weeks, and so step by step he was giving us the kriyas. Yeah, it was not like in 2 days. It was about it was over a period of time. So he gave us like 1-2 techniques, and then he wanted us to practice it. Like he started the japa, and then he said, "Now be in silence, don't talk anymore." Yeah, and he really said, "Be in silence." And for me, I remember also, it was always noisy in Steffenshof. It was an old farm or like an old wooden house. Yeah, we had wooden doors. It was a wooden staircase. You could hear everything. As I could hear Guruji's footsteps, I could hear everything. Yeah, it was like there was no silence at all. Somebody shouting through the house, this, that, people coming, going, everybody wanted to go inside, and for us, like, just leave us alone, you know. Yeah, so it was really crazy. The whole time it was crazy. But then when he gave this kriya, or started with the japa kriya, he said, "Now stop talking, be in silence, only do japa." And then he sent everybody away. Go to the forest, go. Yeah? He was sending the people away. And somehow I was still there. Maybe I was cooking, you know, I was the head of the kitchen. So maybe I was there because I had to cook or something. And so I met Guruji on the terrace. Nobody was there. It was silence. Just silence. And then Guruji said, "Isn't this nice? Isn't this beautiful? Yeah. Everything is in silence." And I said, yeah, so, you know, it's like you never have everything in one place. Yeah, we had most adventurous, most special time, but our nerves were very blank. Many times, I would say, from all of us. Yeah, it was like, it was such a hub spot. Everybody wanted to be there. You know, it was this place, everybody tried to come to our house because they knew Guruji is there, he eats there, he is there, he comes for breakfast, he is there dinner, he speaks with people there, yeah. So it's like whenever we had guests from there, from England, London, or, you know, everybody tried to also come, yeah. So, and we were living there.
It was your house, basically.
It was our house, yeah. But then he made it also clear to us, look, forget about it. It's not your house.
It's everybody's house, because he was opening
Yep.
your private space basically to everybody.
Yes, yeah. Let's say there were not everybody could go, but he somehow let many people come in. Yeah, because there were also other, let's say, people who come only for darshan. Not everybody could really go, but let's say those who came regular,
And he was giving darshan there?
Yes, we had many darshans.
And when did he start with darshans?
I mean,
in that period? Of
no, earlier.
Before?
Yes, earlier. This was actually already Christmas 2002 was already the first public darshan. He did it privately in other places, like trying, checking it out. But let's say publicly it started.
Probably super simple.
Super simple. We didn't know.
Not an event.
No, it was an event. Actually, it was in the town I used to live, and it was an event. Everybody could go, and it was like, we all knew he will be here, and he will give a talk, and we will have food together. So it was organized event. And so he gave a talk, and
How many people?
I would say at that time maybe 80, 60, 80. So not so big.
No, not so big.
It was also Christmas, Christmas people are normally
60, 80 people.
Yeah, their family. Yeah, I mean, I remember I invited my flatmate to come to this place. Yeah, I was still living. I still had a place outside, and we didn't know. We were just together enjoying, and then suddenly asked for a chair. And my flatmate next to me, which I knew her from my previous master, she said, "So what's going to happen now? So will we have now darshan?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't know." So and then he asked for a chair to be placed in front, and he was sitting there. And then he started blessing us. And it was a darshan. Even people didn't know what it was, maybe. Yeah? It was like individually, one by one, we went there. And some maybe had darshans already from their masters. They understood what's going on. The others, they didn't understand what's going on.
So this is a practice that is also common for other masters to give darshans.
I mean, they all do it differently.
Yeah,
it's differently. But I would say many already had a kind of experience from this setting. And from that time onwards, we had it several times. In Germany, or he did it in Switzerland, where he used to live. It was like a living room darshan.
Living room darshan. Now we have in the one in Austria had 3,000 people or something. It was huge, and they are growing and growing. And
I mean, in South Africa, it was already 1,000 people. That's what he, a year later, he once said to me, no, in South Africa, there are already 1,000 people. And I said, where are these 1,000 people? You sit with him alone in the kitchen painting, and he talks like, there are 1,000 people already in darshan. I said, but where are they? Yes.
So it grew somehow overnight. You had the feeling that the mission grew overnight. It was not even considered a mission back then.
No, it was
not established as a mission.
I mean, in 2003, he already spoke about making a foundation. There was even a name for it. Turtle Trust was the first name.
This is priceless. Turtle Trust.
Turtle Trust. And I remember I was in Baden-Baden. It was an interview. It was with Janvi, Janvi the painter. And she invited Guruji. I think twice he went there for giving interviews in her house, or he stayed also overnight. And I went there because it was not far away from where I used to live. And he told me during this interview, yes, and we will make an ashram in England and outside of London, nice, outside, no big city. And we have already a name, it's Turtle Trust. And I said, yes, okay, I come. Because I thought, if he will start with his first ashram, I definitely want to come. And he said, yes, come. Yeah, so this was 2003, and it was meant for his birthday, and then, things turned in totally different ways, and this is also one teaching from Guruji. He's so excited and this will happen, and then let's go for it, and then it's there, and then he said, oh no, it's not what we do. It seems not like the place to start with the first ashram. So he gives chances to people. These people, they had such a chance. It was a lovely place, a very, very popular place in south west England, and a lovely house, like an old cottage, and it looked really like a nice place. But then the people didn't pass the tests. So he gives the tests. They didn't get it, and they had too much of personal interest. And they didn't pass the test, and then says, let's move. And this was, we all went there, and it was also his birthday, so of course it was also nice to see him. But it helped me also to understand that if he says, let's do this, okay, we all go with him, but it doesn't mean that this will be the end of the story. Never. There can be always a turn of events.
And it's also part of the lesson of detachment and not projecting, because you know that he is aware of the end goal, but he will lead you on all this path to test your commitment, because you want to reach that goal, or you want to reach the ultimate goal.
Yes. What do you want?
What do you want? You want this ice cream happiness, as he calls it, achieving these small goals, or you want the ultimate, which is basically the journey in itself, will lead you there. You never know where to go. So this is the time when the mission was not called a mission. It was just this group of people with their divine friend, and slowly it started to become more clear that he's heading in one direction, which is, was it Hinduism was proeminent back then, or it was just tackling spirituality as a general? How was it the atmosphere? Because now we have a clear defined sampradaya, we're clearly Vaishnava, we are devotees, and we go on the Hindu path. Back then, what was the atmosphere? How was it presented?
So the first question was is the mission has not started yet. So in a way, Guruji told us earlier. Since the year 2000, so in the year I met him, like a few months after I met him, he told us clearly, the mission will start only when I'm 27.
Okay.
And he was, at that time, 22. So I was counting years, and what
5 years.
What do we do in these 5 years? For me, the signs were clear. I mean, for me, everything was clear, and I was just thinking, people, why you don't get it? This was more like, how can this be that it cannot grow? Because the signs were clear. He had his radiance. I mean, when you're when you were a little bit open, you know, you could feel it.
The magnetism, the charisma, and
He
everything
had it.
that
Yes, he had it.
he was giving to the
Yeah.
people, the experience already.
He was healing people. In Mauritius, he was healing the people. He helped the people. He traveled, but it's like hidden in a hidden way. He kept everything on low profile. I mean, for us it was nice because it was small.
More time to spend with him.
And we got quite comfortable with it, and we said, no, everything is fine. Yeah, because
We quite enjoy our friend.
yes, yeah, it was really, yeah, of course, sometimes there were 50 people and there were 100 people, but let's say there were no masses, not many. Yeah, and it was also nice that it was small. Yeah, so, but it was clear when he's 27. This was when we already bought Steffenshof, and this was 2005. So in 2005, Gucci became 27. And this was also a few months after we bought Steffenshof. So in a way, it was clear it became like the opening of the first ashram. It was not the first event, because the first event was Shivaratri, 2005, but it was private. We had no license and all these things. So it was a private event, but 100 people came. Yeah, also from Mauritius, a few came. Like his auntie was there, and yeah. And yeah, so like the first bigger event, or the first big event, was his birthday, 2005, when officially the mission started. And it was also clear a few weeks, months before, he said, yeah, now the mission starts, and the name I want to give is Bhakti Marga.
Wow.
So this is when it started.
He announced it.
He announced it.
publicly.
He came to us in the house and said, yes, this will be the name. And it was like this. We were sitting together around like this, such a table like this, our big wooden table. And then he said, yeah, this will be the name of the mission, Bhakti Marga, love, patience, unity. This is the
motto,
the
the
and
guideline.
the name is, and then he explained it to us. Yeah, Marga means way, so it's a way to Bhakti.
To unconditional love for
Yes,
God.
yes, the unconditional love. And we said, okay. Yeah, I mean, of course.
What do we know? I mean,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so this was also the time, you know, we had also to find a legal base for everything, and you know, like signing these contracts, and to have like also a charity, a legal base, and all these. This was the time, you know. So this was also the time where Bhakti Marga started to become BM, and then Y, yeah, and then we have BMW. You know the car, you know, the German car, and it was so similar, and we made so many jokes about this because, yeah, we are the BMY, you know, like and that's why we call often Bhakti Marga just BM. We had to create these names also.
what an exciting time was there.
Yeah.
Like the base starts from there. All the bricks are laid there for the foundation.
Yeah, it was really like that. I mean, even he planned it long time, and it was clear. But it's such a historical time by itself, because the foundation was made there,
In a living room.
In the living room, yeah. Like the first meetings were in the house of Swamini Drishti. Let's say when we got together. But this was just a few times. Let's say when we were in Steffenshof, then the real work started. And it was not only like the legal base, like the foundation of the mission, it was also to get the temple ready. because you ask like, how was the base, like Hinduism and this? Yeah, good, the temple was clear Hinduism. So he started talking about Lakshmi Narayan. He started talking Lakshmi, and I said, Lakshmi? Why Lakshmi, you know? And yeah, she was, let's say, for me, the least Devi familiar for me. Yeah? I connected Lakshmi with money, and like in India, whenever you go and they talk about Lakshmi when they want the money.
Exactly.
So this is like, why Lakshmi? Yeah? I was familiar with Kali, Kali and Krishna and so on. Yeah, but he explained to us, no, it's Lakshmi and then it's Narayan, Maha, Vishnu. There's also a crazy story to this. This was before we moved into Steffenshof. So we were in Drishti's house at the time, and it was the time October. Yeah, it was a Navaratri time. Even I knew about Navaratri, but not really, like no details. And then one day he said, I need some things in Cologne. Let's drive to Cologne. I said, of course, we go. So it was us three driving, or maybe we were four. I remember actually only us three driving to Cologne. And he wanted to go to some antique shops and having a look around. And then he suddenly said, oh, no, let's go there. They have like stones, they have statues. Let's go there. So we went to this place, and Guruji straight went to the terrace or like the garden, like an open space. And they had like these angels and vases, Greek vases, like what you find on these kind of places. And so he went straight to one place, and then he said, look at this, this is exactly what I wanted. This is Lakshmi, look at this, how beautiful. Oh, and here's Vishnu, and we, you know, there was no Hindu deity at all at this place. It was just stone statues which some put in their garden. And there was one Lakshmi and there was one Vishnu, big. And this is the Lakshmi which is now in the lobby. This is the Lakshmi, and the Vishnu is in the darshan hall. But these two, they were the main deities later for the altar.
And he found them randomly in that place that sells angels and garden goblins.
Like, garden goblins is also a good word for it. Exactly. And
wow.
And the funny thing is also they cost a few thousand, whatever, you know. They were big and pure stone. And then the owner said, oh no, by the way, they are 50% discount.
Of course, nobody will buy them. I mean, how they ended up here, nobody knows.
So we got the divine couple for one price.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then Guruji was so excited. He was so happy. You know? And this is how we bought the first murtis.
The first murtis.
Yes.
And he did prana pratishta to them?
Yes. So, He had several deals on different occasions. So the Shiva Lingam was via London coming. Then we had Mavada Babaji, which is still in our temple. At that time he was white, but very sensitive white. So we did a few times Abhishekam. Also we all did Abhishekam. But then the paint got off, so that's why we had to be more careful. And now he has skin color. But this one he ordered. It came via India. And before Mavada Babaji arrived, there was Shirdi. Yeah? He had a Shirdi from somewhere. Yeah? He always had somewhere something. Also, he had Radha Krishna from somewhere. Yeah, it was always like this, like it is now. Yeah? People give him or this or that.
They just appear. The
he orders, or he goes to a goblin garden and
finds deities waiting for him.
Yeah.
Like the Varaha, how he ended up.
Exactly like this.
Crazy stories of deities waiting for him years and years to pick them up.
And this Lakshmi Narayan, I mean, they were new, they were fresh, pure stone. So when they came, they had to be brought. It was like very heavy. I don't know how heavy, but clearly a special car has to bring them. And then we painted them black. You know, this black, it's painted over it, and then you prepare them in a certain way. So that's why there can be abhishekam done on top. It's not marble. It's not a black marble. And so clearly it was Hindu. The temple was Hindu, and whatever was there in 2005 was for his birthday. For this he did prana pratishtha himself. There was also a priest coming. There was a priest from South Africa, and actually it was the first time ever Guruji allowed full abhishekam on himself. So this happened on his birthday, 2005, when the mission started. It was like the 10th, it was fresh, it was June. I mean, June can be warm, but it was really cold, a bit fresh. And then this priest did this abhishekam on him. And it's the first time we saw it. And for us, for me at that time, it was mind-blowing. To see Guruji like this, like a abhishekam on him. For me, this was a milestone at that time, like an unforgettable moment. I mean, there were some people around. We had at least 200, maybe more guests. But still, it was a historical moment. For me, a historical moment was the first Pada Abhishekam with his feet. This is for me unforgettable. The first one, let's say, publicly done. What was private done is a different story. You never know in Mauritius or its custom, or in Indian culture, they did it maybe privately. But let's say publicly. So this was also in the year 2004. This was just before we bought Steffenshof. This happened there. But the full Abhishekam was for this inauguration. I mean, this is also a kind of revelation. It was like and for me it felt like if he allows that, it means he's revealing something. I mean, here maybe I need to explain something. I always felt this humbleness from Guruji. For me, it was there from the first moment, the first interaction, and the way I got to know him. I always felt this humbleness. And even he was playing with this, like some things he allowed, some not. But, I can only say for myself, I mean, I was a nobody. I was a nobody from a small town or a bigger village from somewhere in the Black Forest. I was not super stupid, but I was not like special blessed with something. I felt like so normal. Okay, maybe I had this drive to find out what is life and explore life and ventures, but there were many others also. I met many when I traveled who did similar things.
Definitely.
What I did
spiritual seekers.
Yeah, travelers, and they want first to travel for 2 years before they get married or settle down. So it was not that unusual. But besides that, there was nothing with me. And so the way he interacted with me, I mean, there was nothing, I had no money, I had nothing really what I could offer, let's say. So there was not, let's say, something interesting with me. I would say nowadays. And I got this reflected all of my life, you know. I know exactly, yeah. It's like, yeah. When you're like famous,
yes,
people are different, treating you differently when you're.
Yeah,
I can talk like because I know you were, and I had this talk also with others. Because I had times I was very well known in Bhakti Marga in the beginning years, living in Steffenshof. Everybody wants to be friend with you, and you're just like, leave me alone. And then when you're moving in the background of the scene, you know, it's like you see things.
People forget about you so easily.
So easily.
So easily. This is amazing.
Yes, it's really amazing.
It's
and
amazing.
I know this from the actors. I know this from they all say the same, and that's why you need to be so strong. You need to be so.
It's a lesson of humbleness, because you understand what reputation and status really, because they look up to your connection, to your reputation, but they don't look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is quite a humbling experience to have.
Very, very much. And very strong, and I would say very valuable. Very
valuable, yeah.
And they want to be near Guruji, and
it's a leverage, you know. Who's closest to Guruji? You.
Yes.
You're not anymore close? Okay. You're. Okay.
Yes.
It's natural, it's normal.
It's
people want to create bridges. And,
the game how it is. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so, but still, as I said, I mean, also not stupid, but also not extremely gifted in a way. So, in the way he interacted with me, it showed me, you look, I don't care.
I see something that maybe you don't see.
Yes, exactly. And he showed me sides which actually only us two could have known. Yeah? I mean, I never spoke about experiences I had in India or what I felt when I was in India, or when I was in the ashram with the first master. I had, there was really a true longing starting. Yeah, there was a true longing for God, which started to develop. So he was only interested in this one, in this seed. He was nourishing only this seed, which was planted inside of me, and nobody could know this. And only he knew how to nourish this seed and to give water at the same time, like in the way like he was welcoming me in Steffenshof and helped me decorating the room, or emptying the car. So this was so subtle, because I was more quiet person, let's say, like not in the middle of the scenes, and more listening, more observing. But he was always nourishing this part until now. He's actually only interested in that one, of course, in all of us.
And he relates to you in the manner that you are able to recognize the relationship.
Exactly, yeah.
Because if you are an outwardly person, probably he will have to relate so you can see it. But if you're in the background and you have this capacity of observing, he's going to sit in the back seat with you and observe, and you will have that experience of him being next to you. I see that this is the quality that I love in Guruji, his ability to mold himself according to your needs, to your personality, so he can give you the experience that you will specifically understand. Because other people who see it from the outside will translate it completely differently. But for you, you will have that gem,
exactly.
that gem of experience that will nourish your journey onward.
Exactly. And this is also the personal secret. It's related,
exactly.
Because sometimes you cannot even put it in words.
Exactly.
It's not something which you can explain even sometimes. Or
Yeah, I completely relate to that. And somehow you feel that if you say it, it will devalue it. If you try to explain it, you can hint to it, but you cannot properly explain it because there's nothing to explain. It's not something you can understand with the mind. It has to do with the whole package of feeling it, of experiencing
exactly.
it. Beautiful.
And this is the humbleness. Yeah, this. I mean, I've never met anything like this. I never. I met somebody like Guruji who was able to adapt so much individually to the person, to the circumstance, to what is needed, and so on. Like, this is really amazing and so subtle. Yeah, so subtle, and it can happen 100 times, with 100 people at the same time.
Oh yeah.
In a satsang, yeah, like.
Everybody has his own experience.
Yes.
And this points out to one of the core teachings, which is that we can have a personal relationship with God, and we should nourish this personal relationship with God. Before Bhakti Marga, for me, God was a concept, basically. It's either the man in the sky, and after it was not the man in the sky, it was the energy, and then it was the Tao, and then it was everything was something morphing into something else and trying to make a sense out of this abstract notion of God. And then meeting Guruji, I had the experience, and I was like, oh, God can be personal. And then you look at yourself, and he points toward yourself. Look inside, God is there. Here? Yeah, go deeper because it's there. Cultivate that relationship, and that's a game changer. Because the seeker, for me, I was seeking all over the place God, but outside, because that was the culture for me. But then meeting Guruji, he just pointed the light inside and said, "Look there." Is it there? Yeah, go deep, but go deep inside. And he hints, and he goes with you on the journey. And he reveals himself inside of yourself. And this is probably for people who do not have the experience, maybe it's strange how it's your guru, it's inside. Yeah, your guru is inside. Guruji, for the people that are following him, for his devotees, Guruji is inside of them. And this is amazing. And this whole conversation somehow this arch that we're doing now, for me, helps me understand how he nurtured this personal relationship with you, who were with him at the beginning, and how he started from being quiet, up close and personal, and then slowly, because of the nature of the mission growing, he started to become more, not so available, you might say, but still the connection that is inside started also exponentially growing. And you understood, oh, okay, even if he's far away, this should be stronger than ever. Because we know examples of devotees who've never met him. They became devotees, and their connection is inside.
I think they're very strong.
Their strong connection.
You know, he even said, it reminds me also of something, you know, when we, even, you know, there's not a timeline, it's not like so linear, but doesn't matter. It's also the events, different events which just happened at that time. But when we moved in, we had our first Christmas dinner. It was on the, let's say, future temple area and his interview area. It was exactly there where we had a big table. And we were about 30 people, 40 people. And you know, at that time, he said to us, look, I'm very happy you're all here. And he also said, we were together several times. And he also said, you know, I keep you close because you would not manage it. And this was, I mean, a very humbling statement. I never forgot. But it was also so clear. Yeah? So somebody who is a bit far and has not, let's say, several incidents, meeting, talking with Guruji, for them it's already enough to go their way. For us, we were like younger than teenagers. We behaved like teenagers. We were teenagers. I mean, there was a lot of la 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 between us, and I would not even say it has fully stopped, but let's say we got mature, more mature. But we behaved like teenagers. And we had the same problems. Like this, or they was always around Guruji, and it was the same. It was the same.
The bickering, the small quarrels.
Why always she? Why
the small dramas that don't matter. But
he comes never in my room, and you all it's the same everywhere. And I mean, we might have been inclined with spirituality and did a few things, or we would have gone to darshan once in a while, but definitely we would have not dived so deep. He just kept us,
and he pushed you.
Yes, we would have been still close to Naya and whatever. I mean, so that's when he says, don't think when people are close. They're really close. This is like, it's really difficult. It's really tricky. And I mean, what is close and what is not close? I mean, and who says that? And I mean,
how do you quantify this?
Exactly. At the end of the day, what does it mean? Yeah. So of course, many see like in the outside and this, but he does it. Yeah, he thought before even everything started, even before officially the mission started, he told us, look, I keep you here, you would not manage it.
You're not going to make it if I don't keep you. Yeah, very good point. And he does this with a lot of people. He brings them close and then he lets them, it's like coming, forging you, stay next to the fire because he's burning hot.
Yes, of course
he's burning hot. And if you stay too close to him for a longer period, you might not handle that closeness. So he's always giving you, according to your personality and what you need, that experience. Stay a little bit and then, because you see people changing around him.
You do change. You know, you do change. It of course.
It burns a lot of things.
He also said it, I remember also before we moved to Steffenshof, he also told me once, look, I need to travel. I think I asked him where he goes next, and I was said that he leaves Mauritius, and I was still there for some days and and then he said, look, I need to travel. Nobody is able to bear my energy for a longer time. And
you feel it even here. When he's here, like the whole ashram is like, it fires up, everything comes super intense. And when he goes in his travels, his pilgrimages, it's like time to breathe. Okay, let's process everything that happened. Go into your routine a little bit so you get strengthened again and you get your mind in place, and then he's gonna come and challenge everything that you thought you knew again and again and again and again. And this is exhausting at one point.
It's really exhausting. I mean, this was whenever. So Guruji was around a lot, but he gave darshan in Holland or Munich, or he started in Portugal. So he was and sometimes we went with him, but less and less. We went with him also on these kind of trips. In the beginning, we were everywhere. Whenever he went to London or this, we went. But then less and less. And then there was, I remember like the first year, you know, like living in the ashram, living in that house, always people and so on. And it was like Guruji left, he drank his tea, his last tea in the kitchen. He drank it. People were around, like, last glimpse, maybe to talk with him on this and that. He sat in the car. He left. People disappeared. I tell you, 5 minutes later, it was at that house. It's like we all disappeared in our rooms or wherever we stayed, and we were just kaput. And it was like, I mean, we didn't sleep much. Sometimes we were with him until 3, 4, or even 5 o'clock in the morning.
This crazy schedule.
We did it like what is still happening. Yeah, he will always have some people around him because he works with these people and they have like a task later. So that's what he did with us. So we stayed with him for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, during the day, then this, then this, then this, and then you had your seva, you did your seva, and you did this seva sometimes as a zombie. Sometimes I was cooking and I didn't know who was cooking, but at least cooking kept you grounded.
Yeah.
It was a great task, it was a great seva to keep you grounded. Yeah, and then, like in the night we were painting and doing something, and he was talking and this. Yeah, and then this high energy for some days, and he goes, and then,
you need to recover.
Yeah.
You need the vacation.
Like that.
I need to breathe. Yeah, it's high intensity.
Yeah. I think we got better with this.
You train, and you are more resilient in time. And so this is that period. And when did this idea of we need a bigger place? Because that's, as you described it, it was quite a small place. And then at one point you realize, okay, we need to move to the next level. How did this happen? When did this came to?
I mean, in the temple, around 100 people fit. So we had the darshans there. We had many darshans there. But we had only 100 places, so it was like a waiting list. It was like at that time we picked up the phone. I forgot about the phone. The phone was ringing all the time, and it was ringing in our house, in the living room, under my room. And this was one thing.
And there was no responsible person. Everybody had to pick up
everybody,
who was closest.
And Guruji was also calling us through this phone when he was traveling. So once. And we all got fed up with his phone.
There were no cell phones, or why?
No, it
was that
cell
time.
Phones already existed. No, I had already a cell phone, but we didn't use it. It was not that common yet.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, I had
this is an era that is dying. People
I just remember my first cell phone.
Pre-internet, everybody was done. Everything was done.
And we had super bad connection because it was in the middle of nowhere. We had always problems with internet. We always had problems with phone connection. So anyway, so people called, and also Guruji. And one day he was calling. And everybody was somewhere, and we were so fed up with this phone. And we didn't pick up the phone. The phone was ringing. And suddenly, finally somebody from us picked up. I think it was not even me. But then suddenly it was Guruji. Why you don't pick up the phone? Why you not even do that? Yeah, he was like, really like, he was not happy. But then we told him, Guruji, we are so tired of this phone. And then he said, do it to me. So it was also, it was such, let's say, not important situation. On the other hand, it was because, we were on the edge of everything. The capacity us like the seva, the responsibility, the growth of the mission, people coming now also from America and from South Africa, from Russia. You know, we had like not only European coming, we had like
international.
We had international growth. Because he started giving, he gave the Kriya. It spread. I mean, he went to America in 2005 for the first time, and then he nearly went every year or even twice a year. So, of course, there was an impact. Yeah, and then Russians living in Germany. And it was like, it started like spreading. And of course, everybody had their task. But there was a time we realized we cannot handle it.
Yes, it was too much.
It was too much. It was growing very fast. There was a time it was like speeding up like enormously, like we was like whoa, and this was feelable between us, but like say from the Seva world, we came to our capacity. Our capacity. We were at the end of our energy, and also the place. Like all these people wanted to come for darshan events. We started having the tents in the garden, similar to here. We had event tent. It was already too small, so we had like events with 300 people in our garden. So we had to cook for them, and so. It was also the kitchen was too small. The only parts we could do in the kitchen, so we had always like a cooking station somewhere. We had not even a freezer. We had the storage was our cellar. In the cellar we had mice, and so we had like in each corner there, each let's say in each area.
It was stretched to the maximum, and it was not
exactly. So like we got other houses where some were living, and so we always tried another thing to extend it, but we felt like no, it will not gonna work like
it's
this.
Not containing the amount of people there.
And then Guruji said. It was like we spoke about this, in a way, the first year. And then after 2 years, Guruji agreed. And I said, okay, start looking on a bigger place. So he gave like green light for this. And at that time, I remember we had a meeting. This was in the office, like in his flat. And then Guruji said, start looking for military bases. And we were like,
what?
German military places? This is really the last thing, really the last thing. And I know these kind of places because my hometown, the Canadians were based. So I had somehow had some pictures of how this could look like. And I thought, oh my God, the Kaserne, so we didn't take it that serious, most of us. So everybody was, some started looking at the internet, and only Swami Marga, he took this to heart. And he started looking for military places because she said military places. And so he found a place. It came, here is like in the next village. This is a military place. It was empty. Nowadays the refugees are living there. But at that time it was empty and it was for sale. So he saw it on the internet, and after working at the bank, when in his free time, he was driving to Kemel and wanted to see that building. Because they had many rooms, and the infrastructure somehow
was fitting.
Big enough.
Many people.
Many people. because it was clear we need a bigger place, like nothing small. So it was for us at that time the thing, think big, think much bigger. Yeah, so he went there and he looked and okay. But then there was a local person and they started talking with each another and they said, yeah, what are you looking for? And he said, yeah, we want to buy something. And this man said, yeah, but why you're not going to this place in Springen?
Because it's already there.
It's also empty. It's also big. And Swami Madhava, yes. And then, okay, let's look. Let's have a look. And this is why we found through this military place in Kemel, Swami Madhava got to know about this place here, and then he showed it to Guruji. Short after they went here, and when Guruji was standing on the balcony looking in the valley, was this famous saying from Guruji, I know this place, I know this valley. I had this dream when I was a child. I know this place. Exactly this was I was dreaming at that time. And I didn't know where it is and what it is and so, but this is the place. And this is why we bought it. So also it's a very interesting chain, events which happened. Listening to what he says, even it might not be that exactly what he says, but this will lead
you. It will put the piece of the puzzle. Yeah. Military places, go there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't matter. Go there.
Yeah. So it was clear. I mean, obviously nobody wants to live in a military place, but this was the test. And because Guruji knew how the chain
of events will happen. Very good point. We reach another threshold, and I think it's a beautiful crossing now. We're gonna make another break to check the camera, and well, it makes so much sense now that I see this over time arch, and I'm quite curious to see the transition to the next step. But let's check this one.